Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a huge topic, cybersecurity. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down and make it super simple, visual, and honestly, kind of cool. We're going to ditch the jargon and really get to the heart of what it means to build a digital defense. So let's get started. So let me ask you a question. Imagine you've got something just priceless. Could be treasure, a state secret, or, all of your company's data. How in the world do you even start to protect something like that from people who want it? It's a huge question, right? Well, the answer is you build a fortress. And that one simple idea, that's the key to understanding everything else we're about to talk about. We're going to stop thinking about cybersecurity as just a password or a piece of software. Instead, think of it like a massive, multi-layered medieval fortress. I mean, a real fortress isn't just one big wall, is it? No way. It's got moats and watchtowers, guards, secret passages, and a whole set of rules for everybody inside. And guess what? Good digital security is exactly the same. It's a whole system of different defenses, all working together to protect what's important. So what are the blueprints for our fortress? What's it actually made of? Well, security experts have broken it all down into 4 fundamental layers of defense. Let's dig into the first one. First up, we've got physical controls. Now, these are the most obvious defenses, right? They're the literal walls, the gates, the guards. In our digital world, this means things like locked server rooms, security cameras, and keycard access. It's all about stopping someone from physically getting their hands on the hardware. Next up are the technical controls. Okay, if the physical controls are the walls, think of these as the magical enchantments protecting the castle. This is your firewalls, your encryption, your complex passwords. It's all the logical, automated stuff that's working 24/7 in the background, kind of like magic. Now, this is where we zoom out from the tools and start talking strategy. Managerial controls. These are like the high-level decrees from the king, the big-picture rules that govern the whole kingdom. We're talking about security policies, risk assessments, background checks. It all comes down to how you manage your people and your risk. And our fourth layer, that's operational controls. So if the managerial controls are the laws of the land, these are how the guards actually enforce them day to day. This is security awareness training for your staff. This is running disaster recovery drills and having a plan for when things go wrong. This is security in action, what people actually do. So as you can see, it all lines up perfectly. The walls, the magic, the laws, and the patrols. And you can see that no single layer is enough by itself, right? A fortress only works when they're all supporting each other. I mean, an unlocked gate makes even the highest wall totally useless. Okay, so we've got the 4 layers of our fortress down. We know what it's built from, but now we need to ask a more strategic question. What's their purpose? What are they trying to do? This brings us to what we can call the 6 rules of engagement, or different control types. See, knowing the parts is one thing. Knowing how to use them is the real game. All right, first, let's look at 2 ideas that seem really similar but are actually worlds apart. A high wall is a preventive control. It physically stops someone from getting inside. Simple. But what about some really scary-looking gargoyles on top of that wall? That's a deterrent control. Its job is psychological, to make an attacker think twice and maybe not even try. One stops you cold, the other just scares you away. So what if an attacker isn't scared off by the gargoyles and starts climbing the wall anyway? Well, that's when you need a watchtower. And that is your detective control. Its only job is to spot trouble as it's happening. In the cyber world, this is your intrusion detection system or your security cameras, things that scream, hey, something's wrong right now. Okay, the alarm has sounded, a breach has happened. Now what? You send in the repair crew. These are your corrective controls. They get used after the fact to fix the damage and clean up the mess. Think about restoring your data from a backup or wiping a virus-infected machine. Their whole goal is just to get the fortress back up and running. And to finish our defensive playbook, there are just 2 more strategies you gotta know. First, directive controls. Think of these as the guard's handbook. They're just instructions to make sure people do the right thing. And then you have compensating controls. These are your backups. If a part of your wall is kind of weak, a compensating control is putting extra patrols there until you can get it fixed. So we've got our categories, like physical and technical, and we've got our types, like preventative and detective. Now here comes the real aha moment. You've got to realize these are not separate checklists. They're actually overlapping ways to describe the very same defense. One single thing can wear many hats. And this just illustrates the point perfectly. Let's just look at one single guard. That guard is a physical control, right? A person in a space. They're also a preventative control because they physically stop you from just walking through the door. Their serious face and big spear, that makes them a deterrent control. And because they're watching and listening for trouble, they're also a detective control. See that? One guard, 4 different security functions. This is a heart of a smart defense, making every single piece of your system work overtime for you. So the crucial thing to take away from all this is that building a secure fortress isn't about buying one magic box. It's about understanding how all these different pieces, the physical stuff, the tech, the policies, the people, how they all fit together to create one strong, cohesive system. And really, it all boils down to this balance. Amazing technology is useless without smart policies to guide it. And smart policies will absolutely fail if you don't have vigilant people putting them into action. If you take away any one of these pillars, the entire fortress could come tumbling down. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What actually matters most? Is it the unbreakable encryption, the perfectly written policy, or is it the sharp employee who spots a phishing email from a mile away? The real art of digital defense tells us the answer is all of them, working together. Thanks for watching.